anxiety is, for many students, maybe even you, an all too familiar feeling. Sweaty palms, racing heart, an inability to focus at the moment you need to the most. Today, we're going to walk through a couple of test anxiety exercises to help you get through and beyond those feelings of worry. First, let's talk about the causes of test anxiety. Why do you get anxious before a big test? Often, our anxieties are rooted in a fear. In this case, that could be a fear of failing or of not doing as well as you'd hoped. You may also be running through the possibilities of what could happen if you don't achieve your goal. That can lead to catastrophic thinking, where your brain leaps from one unpleasant, and I should add unlikely, scenario to an even more dire situation, and on and on. I won't do well on this exam, and therefore I won't get into college, and then I won't get a good job, and then I won't be able to support myself. You can find yourself spiraling. But you can stop that process before it gains momentum, and you can keep your anxiety at bay. Let's talk about a quick 3-step strategy that you can use to stay calm and focused in a high-stakes situation. For starters, never underestimate the power of breathing. You know how when you're relaxed, you tend to take a nice big breath? Well, that can work the other way around too. When you take nice big breaths, you can make yourself more relaxed. If you feel your anxiety start to escalate, harness your focus and concentrate it entirely on deep breaths. Even if you feel like you can't, really try to take deep breaths in and out. After a few of these, you should start to feel your heart rate slowing down, and you should be able to refocus on the problem at hand. And that leads me to part 2. Part of what can make all of us feel overwhelmed is focusing on the totality of any task. If you find yourself starting to do this, stop. Don't think about the mountain you've got to climb. Think about where you're putting each foot next. That standardized test-taking strategy is something we call bite-sized pieces. You don't try to solve the whole problem at once. You work it in one manageable piece at a time until you tackle the whole thing. Say you get a question like this. Quantity 5jk squared plus 5j squared minus 2j squared k, quantity minus quantity jk squared plus 2j squared k plus 5j squared. And you're asked, which of the following is equivalent to the expression above? And all of the answer choices look like alphabet soup. You might start to feel your heart beat faster, so take a deep breath. And another one. And then work the problem in bite-sized pieces. Start with one tiny piece of this purposefully intimidating-looking question. The first set of parentheses starts with a term containing jk squared. Check in the second set of parentheses for the same combination of variables and exponents. The first term there matches, so your first step is to do a simple subtraction problem. 5jk squared minus jk squared, which equals 4jk squared, of course. Now you know that the correct answer must contain the term 4jk squared. You can eliminate choices C and D right off the bat. And if you were running out of time, you could guess. Remember, there's no penalty for guessing on the SAT, and you'd have a 50-50 chance of getting it right. If you're not pressed for time, you could do the next bite-sized piece. Look at the difference between choices A and B. You'll quickly see that choice B has a negative 4j squared k term that choice A does not have. So focus on the terms in the expression that contain j squared k. In the first set of the parentheses, you have negative 2j squared k, and in the second set, you subtract 2j squared k, which will give you negative 4j squared k, and you'll see the correct answer is choice B. Now let's say that you've been pressed for time from the beginning. One of the strategies we encourage you to adopt is to complete each section according to your personal order of difficulty. Take the easy test first, folks! If you do all the questions you know how to answer and rack up those points, and then spend more time on the moderately challenging questions and rack up those points, then if you run out of time on finishing those last few questions, just guess and call it a day. The funny thing is, all the questions are worth the same point value. So a few questions guessed, in the interest of getting more of the easy questions right, not to mention saving your sanity, is perfectly reasonable. In fact, it's more than reasonable, it's strategic. If something makes you nervous, skip it and guess. You need to preserve your sense of calm and your focus for the rest of the test. And guessing here and there is not a big deal. Keep in mind that you may even guess correctly. There are 2 lessons I hope you've gleaned from this video. First, an extra moment to study yourself is time well spent. And second, knowledge is an antidote to anxiety. If you have strategies for approaching even the most intimidating problems, you will be well on your way to maximizing your scores, and more importantly, to feeling good about what you're doing. Thanks for watching, my friends. Subscribe to our channel to get more strategies for thriving through the pressure. Take care.